Rick in behind trying to find a spot. Little paint exchange there. And then further down at turn 2, it was on between Lowndes and Rick Kelly.
Oh, look at Kelly's car get taily. One of the Fujitsu Fords goes off. Oh, race leader and Lowndes. That is Lowndes. He's been taken out of it.
What has happened here? Damage, that'll be damage to the front of Lowndes' car. Kelly's off the road, that is Todd. Massive damage on Will Davison's car, and I think his damage has got worse. What has happened to Lowndes?
The advantage has swung. My goodness, in the most dramatic way, Rick Kelly is the new race leader. Winterbottom second, but what went on at turn 4? Extraordinary stuff here at Phillip Island. A tight point scenario going into the last. Here it is. Oh, so contact from Rick Kelly from the rear unsettles Lowndes and into Todd Kelly.
Geez, I think there's going to be trouble for that one, I think. Unbelievable scene. So Rick Kelly makes contact with the back of Craig Lowndes, unsettles Lowndes. And Lowndes cannons like a billiard ball straight into the side of Rick's brother. Now the argument here is going to be whether or not Craig squeezed him down. This is going to continue to infuriate what's already been an agitated day.
You would not want to be a race official at the moment.
Not a good place to be in race control as you try and unravel that one.
Boys got into a big mental fog about what happened in the pit lane with Jack Daniels' guys, Rick Kelly and Todd Kelly, and I thought, hang on, we were looking, oh, here's Todd on screen, turned around here at the moment.
Oh, Holdsworth, crash. Second in the race, nowhere to go, straight into the side.
This is very, very awkward.
Reverse up, is your car good enough to keep going? Mate, I'm trying.
The point I quickly want to make is Rick didn't get all his fuel. Rick only got about 10 litres of fuel when he stopped earlier in the confusion with his brother. And so his position in the race is a bit artificial at the moment.
And behind all of that, Whincup dives straight to the pit lane, and now the safety car's been called. So he's getting in for his second stop.
Good work.
Safety car out. I don't know what happened there, because with that now, Courtney, oh, look, there's a lot of damage to the left-hand side of that.
Holdsworth's made it back to the line.
Safety car.
Lowndes is going to queue.
Away you go.
Now, that is really bad luck for Holdsworth, because he was going very well.
Put him in the shed. Come on.
It's on for young and old down there at the moment. It's absolute chaos. Everyone's saying, what are you going to do with Lee Holdsworth? He's got to hold the radiator, so he can't go on. He was in second spot. Now, Todd had a lose at the last corner. He's ended up being T-boned in the passenger side. Fortunately, didn't hit the driver's side.
Now, here's an interesting thing. They've actually put the soft tyres on Craig's car.
Keep going around the track. Do not come in pit lane.
So the question for him is, are you going to be able to get 44 laps out of them? Damage on the front of this thing.
A lot of damage on Will's car. So that'd be interesting to see how that happened, because there's one of the guys in contention. Oh.
Yeah, mate, that front bar still hanging down. So,
the bloke going to get clobbered then?
Looked like it.
So Tander stayed out and is the leader.
It's gone. Steering's destroyed. Steering's destroyed.
And not just the
Thanks for the
steering.
info there with the bloody fluid.
So there's radiator fluid everywhere here that's been left behind from Lee Holdsworth's car.
Here we go. I reckon that he's ended up hitting the fence, I think, with all that fluid. The left-hand damage on the front of Will Davison's car, I think that's on the entry to pit.
And that's why he said that thanks for the info, guys. So he's got big damage here, so they're going to have to bring that car back in. Sorry, folks, this has got messy. So the question here is, can Craig Lowndes get 44 laps out of a set of sprint tyres? Every lap on the safety car will help that cause. Look, bang! It's gone straight to the wall with all the garbage on the tyres.
It scared the heck out of the marshal standing behind them.
So I think he's got steering damage at the same time. He's reporting steering damage as a consequence, and it's still rubbing.
And the rest of
them
can't turn it. Pass.
He can't turn it.
But
he
now
can't
they will.
turn it.
And you heard his voice. Not just the steering gone, but the championship as well.
I think it's actually sliced the tyre now. It actually has. It's flattened the tyre. It's cut through it. It's shot. Look at it. You see that? And look at all the fluid on the road there. Right there, right in the middle, right at the loaded part of the corner.
Oh, so here we go. Bargwanna turns Todd Kelly around. There's a couple of...
Yeah, that's where Fiore got his damage.
So Todd props, but then props right in the path of Lee Holdsworth. Takes a big whack in the B pillar in the centre of the car. Then there's damage to the front of Lee's car. It hemorrhages fluid everywhere. And then it covers the racetrack, and then more chaos as a result. All those guys get around. Here's Lee, whack.
Does he stall? Is that the reason? I think it looks like Todd stalls. When he goes to drive it away, the lights go...
I reckon he's jumped on the
stops.
brakes.
Okay.
Because he's looked around the corner and seen someone coming.
But I don't understand why he stopped there then, because I thought that it would be safer to be off the track, so I'm not sure.
He may not have thought he was going to make it.
So our three championship contenders, Windcup, Winterbottom and Courtney, make up the top three in this race. It is belting down. They're not on wet tyres.
The question that I would ask in either of the bunkers at Vodafone Change for the lead or Dim Beam is, can we afford a crash? And the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
So look at this. They end up in the wall. It's game over. It's going to be game over for one of these contenders if they're not careful. They've got to get on wet tyres now.
Look at this. That is so slippery, you will not believe it.
If you're down the autoscape here, you'd play the risk game, but I wouldn't play the risk game.
Oh,
James Courtney's about...
oh no! He's in the fence! The boat's in the fence!
They're all in the fence! Oh, unbelievable! Top three in the fence. Van Gisbergen goes as well. Suddenly, Windcup has managed to keep going. Courtney's desperately trying to go within the fence.
That's stupid. I said it 15 seconds ago. They pushed that you cannot afford to have a crash in these conditions. They should have been on wets.
Particular attention to the right front.
He's got nothing on the right front. It's going nowhere.
They're all broken. Forget about it.
This is just incredible.
Damage, Prixie. The right front appears to have damage. It could be just flat. Let's have a good look. Let's just take our time. Before wet. Got damage on front right.
This could end up being a red flag, which means if it red flags, it could backdate. I need to see where we're at in percentage terms.
But we are ready for
It's got broken front suspension.
Guys, this is when you've got to go with the driver. You've got to go with the driver's feel. When he said on the safety car at the restart, it's time for wets.
We have passed the critical 75%. It can be declared a race. We've got massively wounded cars, and if it is declared, it'll backdate
to the lap prior.
Yeah, and don't ask me what it looked like at that point, because it's too much data to process.
He's going to battle to get it into pit lane. He can't steer it. No, he's got it there now.
Oh, now, I totally echo your remarks. The driver, he was saying, I need wets. They're playing way too much of a theoretical laptop game and not enough racetrack game.
It's going to be super slippery. I'm going to have to try and get you to try and turn around from around the GRM boys.
That's what.
And we're going to take our time and just make sure everything's good.
So that's what happened to Craig Lowndes' car as he went slamming into the rear of James Courtney's car. Okay.
Right out of it. Okay, let's go up. Stand under, please.
Oh, it's got a broken disc.
Okay,
It's got a broken rotor. He's going to be there forever.
We've got a rotor that's smashed in pieces, boys. Rotor smashed in pieces. Upright broken in half. Upright broken in half.
Yeah, you can see there, because not only smashed this, but the upright is broken clean in half. That's going nowhere.
So that's one championship contender gone for the day.
Now, what's it look like at the other end of town? Because it doesn't look much prettier. It's gone too. He's going nowhere. Adrian Burgess, sporting director. This thing is broken. These two guys are going to get big fat zero.
James Courtney, to make matters worse, he's turned into the wrong garage. They're going to have to push him around and get him in the right garage. This is a mess. It is belting down in pit lane at the moment. It couldn't get any worse.
Guys, where is Winterbottom? Because if these blokes score zeros, Winterbottom you're going to have to focus on here, because he could grab points. He's down in 13th. What's the state of his car?
Have a look at the damage on Lowndes' car after running into the back of James Courtney at turn 5.
Well, if they thought Jamie Wincup's car was bad, wait until they see what's happened to Lowndes'. Alex Davison stuck. Todd Kelly was stuck there.
It's like a wrecking yard.
Mark Winterbottom is the big question. Where is he?
what damage has he got? He was the first one to go. The Watts linkage has gone on that as well. The rear is wobbling all over the shop.
Not much that isn't gone on it. So Winterbottom, here he is. Now, okay, so he's got a big fat 0 too. So all three contenders are going to end up with nothing out of this.
This is a joke hitting.
Yeah, so I needed to see him to understand what could, because this could have been the Formula One scenario where the bloke in third in the championship leaps up and scares everybody at the top end of town. That's not going to happen.
Stay outside there. Lowndes and Courtney are out at the moment. We're going to try to do something with this. Let's see what we can do. Stay in the car. There's 14 laps to go.
Well, when they pull this off, you watch.
Now,
if they get it off,
I'm going to be interested in whether this gets declared, and if it does, when the declaration happens, if it happens, it could have impact on the result and the championship because of who was leading second, third and so on at the time. But the longer it trickles on...
Well, I'm pretty sure that Jamie Whincup was leading the race. When we go back...
It may not get declared. Depends on how many cars are scattered.
So this is what happens. So Whincup follows these guys in. Winterbottom's the first to go. Courtney goes in. Whincup's gone in.
There they are, championship contenders.
Then they crunch again. Van Gisbergen gets into the mix. Now you keep an eye on Craig Lowndes, who gets speared over to the left-hand side. There's still cars hitting the fence left, right and centre. And then there's Michael Caruso. Todd Kelly will arrive on the picture sooner or later because he couldn't go anywhere. And then watch this. Oh, that's from Jamie Whincup. There's Courtney. This is a championship moment evaporating in the middle of a rainstorm.
But it's the status quo. So it's a reset for tomorrow. So forget about the championship contenders. They've actually all neutralised each other. Each of the teams and their strategists have neutralised each other.
Check this out. Watch James Courtney's car and Craig Lowndes. Crunch.
That sound you can hear is the sound of cash registers ringing. Because that's an expensive act, all that. So I'd forgotten about Winterbottom because I was that focused on these two guys that it was hard to read what was going on.
But the first bloke to crash was Winterbottom.
Yes.
He was the guy that went into the fence first. But prior, this is already broken. Absolutely already broken. So he had no choice and understeers into the fence where they all crashed last year. And there's a lot of damage. That won't just be replace the shock absorber. There'll be more to it. Have a look.
This is surreal.
Bang! That hits hard. That's 200k. Wow.
Bizarre. The lap before, he takes on that spot in one of the gutsiest moves that you could find and survived it. A lap later at the very same spot where he lost the championship 12 months ago, it comes out and bites him again. And as a result, the man who could have wrapped up the championship this afternoon simply by finishing in front of Craig Lowndes, or if Lowndes wins, he just had to finish top 4, is now still in the garage.
So James off to a very strong start. This is Mark Winterbottom that we're riding with. He's in 8th. Looks like Van Gisbergen putting pressure on Reynolds. Reynolds is gone! David Reynolds has gone around! Somehow saves it. Does he keep it off the wall? Good catch, David Reynolds, but he's lost a swag in positions after a touch by the Kiwi.
Gather it up, mate. Gather it up.
How will that be viewed?
Hey, what was that about?
Oh, championship on the line. Reynolds goes to the back of the pack after contact with Shane Van Gisbergen. Pye with his hands full here, slades through into 10th. Cameron Waters as well, up ahead. Chard wide, and here's the exchange between Shane and David. So he's just tripped over his nose. He's tried to close down on him, and he's rotated around the nose of Shane Van Gisbergen. Very, very lucky here. Let's have a look and listen to this one. So he's ended up being stuck on the hard cut in gear, not being able to pull the gear, with Shane jammed in the rear of it with a big shove. As you quite rightly drew breath on that one, Greg, because that is a heart-stopping moment in a place where you can ill afford to come undone. Just on that last lap speed, Whincup was the fastest, as Roland just pointed out. He sees that on his data as well. Lowndes was 4th fastest. Oh, off the road, and a big incident here for Lowndes. He's in the wall. The race
race leader in the wall.
That looked like a left.
Will trigger a safety car. And Lowndes, big damage, hard into the wall.
Yeah.
Something must surely have failed.
It looked like the left rear or something had gone. What has happened to Craig Lowndes here?
So the good news is he's okay. There you go. So it's hurt a tyre.
And what will this do in terms of the championship? Leading by 0.7.
There's a big moment. Let's have a look at it again in replay. So here he comes off the final corner. So is it a wear issue, or had that tyre copped some damage on a curb somewhere? There won't be very much of it to look at it. So it's let go big time. Plucked the left rear guard, which is a composite guard, off it. And of course, as soon as he's put any right-hand lock on it to turn the corner, it was impossible to control the car. So remember, it's doing 255 kilometres an hour here and has just pitched that car. Fortunately, reasonably square impact that yields the lead to David Reynolds. Safety car out, so the Lexus RCF will control. Let's listen to this and watch. That would have felt like an eternity for Craig Lowndes. So he just had to sit there with opposite lock. He looked over his left shoulder. He knew the wall was coming. He would have relaxed his body. You can see there's nothing left of the carcass of the tyre on that left rear rim. It's plucked the entire guard off. He's got everything clamped up brake-wise. It's making sparks out of the front left tyre. It's down to the steel belts on the tyre. Full opposite lock and hard into the concrete wall.
Look at how much bodywork had been torn off the back of it from that tyre. And there are 2 points on this track where you hit 255 kilometres an hour. The fastest speeds we see at Pookie, when that tyre let go, it was at about that marker. Unbelievable.
And sitting on a higher line in general terms. Let's see what it looks like from Jamie's perspective at 5. So he just kisses the curb. Van Gisbergen, he's weak here, isn't he, by comparison? He didn't get the car on the apex position there at turn number 6. Jamie knows this is the area of vulnerability, and there's a touch. He's turned, they've both gone round. They've both gone round. This is what they did not want to see at Red Bull. Whincup has touched the inside of Van Gisbergen. And that's the reaction in the garage. Grant McPherson, David Couchy. It's Roland Dane's face that'll be the telling story.
Yeah, sorry if that was my fault, but I felt like I gave him enough room, mate. Copy, mate. Have you any damage?
So let's listen to these radio conversations.
Yeah, Rodri is she's wobbly.
So Whincup dived down the inside at 8. Van Gisbergen had been sitting up high in recent laps.
Okay, you keep me posted if you need to pit for that. 23 to go.
Damage on the front of car number 97. Grant McPherson's body language says it all. 6 seconds the gap between Winterbottom and Pye. So they've dropped in with Gizzy in 8th, Whincup in 11th. And it's on here between Whincup and Moffat now. Back in the pack. Tander's in here as well. They're shuffling down the inside of potentially a wounded Whincup. So this is changing the game. Now Tander up on the outside of Whincup into the left-hander. Now it's GT that's going to try and pull the brave move. There's no space there. He can't get it done. Meantime, Wood and Blanchard have gone straight ahead at 5, and under investigation is Jamie Whincup for infringement on his teammate Shane Van Gisbergen.
And what really caused that was the differing lines. What you said before about the high line for Van Gisbergen, there was a big dive, but on the low line for Whincup, and as the two cars converged, the contact was made. So we're looking at the moment whether there's any damage to the back of car 97.
Race leaders peeling off here. James Courtney out of business, unfortunately, for today. And how's the arrival?
Oh, bang!
And that'll be contact.
Got to hit him. Got to have hit him.
That has hit him hard. That's out of business here for Van Gisbergen. That's a huge mistake. He's not going to be able to see an apex.
The car's total.
They will have to sit that car there to sort it, and that's a massive, massive mistake. Here's the replay. He's arrived, and I can see it happening in the background and given it a major whack.
Yeah, which one's that? I can't see.
Wow. So that's...
You're right, mate. I'll chalk you in. I'll chalk you in.
Over and out for Mostert in this championship chase, and that's a big blow to Shane Van Gisbergen.
Slow it down. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Turn in.
He can't see a thing.
That's the way.
He can't. He had to be guided into the pit garage. Murph.
That's a massive amount of damage. Obviously, I don't think that car's going to be hitting back out there, boys. They're straight to the garage, obviously, as you can see, because of the size of that impact. How hard did he hit him? How much faster was he going into the lane? I don't know if he misread that. Did he get caught out by Slady? Or I'm not really sure, but that was a huge error. I'll keep an eye on this, boys, and come back to you as soon as I can and with an update on this. But the airbox, as you can see, has been pushed right up, out, and it's disconnected from the intake completely. And the splitter is facing the wrong direction, so this is going to be a long fix if they manage to do it at all.
Well, we just had the onboard of Tim Slade there while you were talking, Greg. Thanks for the update. And the readout on his dash was showing 41k, so he was at the right speed. Shane's completely misjudged it, unfortunately. We all know, because we've all done it, there's a little bit of a gain to be made when you're tucked up under the back of somebody because you're protected to a degree from the radar gun. And the idea is that you can try and make a metre, but this is not a metre. He's arrived at 20 kilometres an hour too fast or more. Drivers make contact on the exit of 12. This is not done, folks. This is unbelievable. Now Craig Lowndes, if he passes McLaughlin, he's off! He's made a mistake. Lowndes is down the inside. They're going to crash. They've hit on the way up the hill. Unbelievable. Lowndes has broken the front left. He's out of business. Lowndes is out of business. He's off the road. What an extraordinary end to Craig Lowndes' day. This is going to be a bitter fight to the end. Unbelievable images in Newcastle. That won't trigger a safety car. Did he go up the escape road? He went up the escape road, but he's gone. But will he be penalised? Well, he moved across. My goodness, folks. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it in motorsport.
He made his own mistake. He moves over. They're alongside each other.
He had to try and cover. Now everybody will be polarised on brand lines here. The hardest decision of the year for the Driving Standards Observer and the Deputy Race Director is what they do about this one. What do they do? Now Lowndes had the momentum. Craig would have gone by. This is an extraordinary way for this championship to conclude. Triple Eight will go berserk. Roland Dane will go berserk. They'll fight with everything they've got. Under investigation is car number 17. Go for part one of the Adelaide 500 and a great start by Brody. And they bump and grind their way to turn one with Reynolds up on the outside being forced into a yield.
It was a bad start, weirdly, there for Van Gisbergen. The jump from the start was brilliant by Brody, but the secondary part of the start was better by David. But very high risk bumping. And in the fence! In the fence! So Will Brown and I think Shane Van Gisbergen have actually made contact. Yeah, so that's Will Brown in the fence on the left-hand side coming out of turn 4. But I think he got Shane at the same time.
Wow. Safety car boards and flags.
On the opening lap
between turns 4 and turn 5.
Of race 27, there has been heavy contact involving the championship contender, this man, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Will Brown, with big damage on the back of the Coke car. And that is a sad sight for the left front corner of the Van Gisbergen car. That's looking like it could be all out.
And I think there was contact with Anton De Pasquale to start that. I think that's where it come from. Anton was on the inside. It ricocheted Will wide, and he was caught in it because of the bad start, Neil.
And leaping out of the car, big damage on the front of Will's car there. So a great initial jump by Kostecki, and then the secondary part of that start
meant that he was almost under threat by Reynolds by the time they got down to turn 1, and then David was on the wrong side of the road. But how's this for a story? Only seconds old into the race. We jump on board now with Reynolds. Very good start. And Brodie's trying to give himself some space to open up the line into the corner. You can see that David's compromised on the right side of the road. And in the end, he just yields. Now, look further back in the pack.
Bad start, Van Gisbergen.
Yep. So he's lost a spot by the time they get down to turn 1. He stayed up high on the outside. Had to straight line the chicane out the other side. Now, keep an eye when they get up here into the braking area.
So that's Anton.
Who makes contact with Brown. Yeah, and Shane had nowhere to go. He's just an unwitting victim in the whole thing. Just clips him on the way by. So you got that 100%. On board here with Will Brown, turn 1. Highly congested part of the racetrack here on the opening lap, and on a cold tyre, it's difficult to negotiate. So that's Di Pasquale just in front of him. He covers down the inside. Will's trying to make ground. Up on the outside, gets squeezed here. Bang, contact. Heavily into the wall. So he eats concrete on the left and gets Van Gisbergen on the right. So here it is again from external, turn 4. So they interlock wheels, fires Will into the road, and that catches Van Gisbergen and effectively ends his day.
And Shane had nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go.
On board now. This is Cam Waters in the foreground, and the push and shove's happening up here at turn 4. We're with Shane. Bang, bang, nowhere to go.
In fact, the Mustang in front, Cam Waters, blocked his vision completely, didn't it? Because when you were on board just then, you didn't even see that Will went in. That went in hard.
Yeah, that's a nasty shunt. Nasty for 2 reasons, because the right rear got monstered and savaged, and then it goes headlong into the wall.
So it hits the tyres initially, but the wall's just after it, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's going to have pretty significant damage to deal with. And then it's bitten this car. And Van Gisbergen literally had nowhere to go, and he's out of action. Andrew Edwards knows the story. Under investigation, race control confirming that the contact between cars 9, 11, 97, lap 1, turn 4 will be considered. Shane heads back into the garage.